Have you ever wondered if your daily habits are quietly stealing years from your life? If you're between the ages of 65 and 75, or if you have a loved one in this stage of life, this might be the most important video you watch today. Many believe that by this age, they've earned the right to slow down and take it easy. But what if I told you that this decade is the most crucial in determining whether you'll maintain your independence for years to come or slowly start losing it? The truth is, some of the most common everyday actions can lead to declining health, loss of mobility, and even emotional isolation. But the good news is that it's never too late to change. Simple, mindful adjustments can make all the difference in how you experience aging. Stay with me until the end because I'm about to share 20 life-changing habits that will help you stay strong, independent, and happy well into your later years. If living a long and fulfilling life matters to you, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss valuable lessons like these. And before we begin, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you agree that maintaining health and independence is a key to aging well, comment 1. But if you believe aging should be about complete relaxation without much concern for habits, comment 0. Now let's begin. Habit number 1. Ignoring your physical strength. Many people assume that after a certain age, staying active is optional. But this couldn't be further from the truth. After 65, the body naturally starts to lose muscle mass, and if no effort is made to maintain strength, this loss accelerates. Weak muscles lead to weak bones, and weak bones increase the risk of falls. And a single fall can change everything. Mobility can be lost overnight, making simple tasks like getting out of bed or walking across the room a challenge. Staying physically active isn't about pushing the body beyond its limits. It's about keeping it strong enough to support independence. Even light resistance exercises, daily walks, and simple stretches can make a big difference. Prioritizing balance and flexibility helps prevent falls, which is one of the biggest threats to independence at this stage of life. A little movement today means more freedom tomorrow. Habit number 2, skipping regular health checkups. Many people avoid the doctor, assuming that if they feel fine, there's nothing to worry about. But the truth is, some of the most serious health conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure develop silently. By the time symptoms appear, the condition may already be advanced. This is why regular checkups are essential. Simple tests can detect problems before they become serious, allowing for early intervention that could add years to life. Hearing and vision tests are just as important. Poor eyesight and hearing loss don't just affect daily comfort. They increase the risk of accidents and falls. Bone density scans can reveal whether bones are becoming fragile, helping to prevent fractures that could lead to long-term immobility. Taking care of one's health doesn't just mean treating illness, it means preventing it. Habit number 3, neglecting social connections. As people age, it's common for friendships to fade. Retirement, the passing of loved ones, or simply a quieter daily routine can lead to loneliness. But loneliness isn't just an emotional struggle. It has real consequences for physical health. Research has shown that chronic loneliness can be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It affects the immune system, increases the risk of heart disease, and can even contribute to cognitive decline. Staying socially connected is one of the most powerful ways to protect well-being. Regular phone calls or visits with friends and family can make a huge difference. Being part of a community, whether it's a hobby group, a volunteer organization, or a local club, provides a sense of belonging that is crucial for happiness and mental clarity. Even small interactions like chatting with a neighbor or joining a casual walking group can brighten the day and reinforce a sense of connection. Habit number 4, keeping an unhealthy diet. Eating habits that once seemed harmless can become dangerous after 65. The body processes food differently than it did decades ago, and consuming too much sugar, salt, or unhealthy fats can contribute to serious conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease. Processed foods may be convenient, but they often lack the nutrients needed to keep the body strong. At this stage of life, Prioritizing lean proteins like fish, chicken, and beans can help maintain muscle. Cutting back on processed and fried foods reduces strain on the heart, while drinking enough water throughout the day prevents fatigue and confusion. Nutrition is more than just about living longer. It's about maintaining the energy and vitality needed to enjoy those years. Making smart choices now can mean the difference between feeling sluggish and drained or staying sharp and active. Habit number 5, ignoring sleep quality. Many people assume that sleep becomes less important with age, but this is a dangerous misconception. Poor sleep doesn't just cause fatigue. It affects brain function, memory retention, and even physical coordination. Research has linked sleep deprivation to an increased risk of dementia, weakened immunity, and slower recovery from injuries. It's not just about how many hours of sleep one gets, but also about the quality of that sleep. Sticking to a consistent bedtime routine helps regulate the body's natural sleep cycle. Avoiding screens before bed prevents artificial light from interfering with melatonin levels, making it easier to fall asleep naturally. Reducing caffeine and alcohol intake in the evening also contributes to deeper, more restorative sleep. When the body and mind are well rested, it's easier to stay active, think clearly, and enjoy life fully. These are just the first 5 habits that can have a significant impact on life between the ages of 65 and 75. But there are still 15 more that are just as important. Some may surprise you, and some may even challenge common beliefs about aging. Before we move forward, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Which of these habits do you think is the most important to change first? Let's start a conversation and learn from each other. Stay tuned for the next part, where we'll explore more essential habits to avoid, including some that many people overlook. If you found this helpful, be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an update. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when part 2 is released. Together, let's take control of the future, one small habit at a time. Aging gracefully isn't just about the number of years you live. It's about how well you live them. In the previous part, we covered 5 habits that could quietly steal your independence if left unchecked. But we're just getting started. There are still 15 more crucial habits that can determine whether your later years are filled with strength, freedom, and joy, or with struggles that could have been avoided. Before we continue, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which habit from part 1 do you think is the most important to change first? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the rest of this series. Now let's continue. Habit number 6, moving carelessly and taking unnecessary risks. One of the most common reasons older adults suffer injuries isn't because they are weak. It's because they underestimate the risks of everyday movements. Simple actions like climbing on a chair to reach a high shelf, hurrying down the stairs, or walking through a cluttered room can lead to falls that change life forever. A single misstep could result in a broken hip, and the recovery from such an injury can take away the very independence that was once taken for granted. It's important to recognize that safety isn't about fear. It's about being smart, keeping the home free from obstacles, ensuring good lighting in all rooms, and using handrails when needed can prevent accidents before they happen. For some, using a cane or walker may feel like a loss of independence, but in reality, it's a tool that protects independence by preventing falls. Slowing down, moving carefully, and respecting the body's limitations isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. Habit number 7, being too frugal with your own well-being. Many people who grew up in difficult times learned the importance of saving money, and that habit stays with them for life. While financial responsibility is important, being too frugal can sometimes cause more harm than good. Skipping necessary medical treatments, avoiding social outings, or refusing to invest in better quality food can slowly chip away at health and happiness. Money is a tool, and in this stage of life, it should be used to create comfort, security, and peace of mind. There's nothing wrong with treating yourself to a good meal, a comfortable bed, or a new pair of shoes that support your feet properly. There's a difference between being responsible with money and denying yourself the things that make life enjoyable. After years of hard work, this is the time to make sure those efforts pay off in ways that bring both health and happiness. Habit number 8, selling your home too soon. As people get older, well-meaning family members often encourage them to sell their home and move to a smaller place or live with relatives. While downsizing can be beneficial for some, it's not always the best choice for everyone. A home is more than just four walls. It's a place filled with memories, comfort, and a sense of stability. Moving away from that can sometimes bring stress, emotional distress, and a feeling of losing control over one's own life. Before making any big decisions, it's important to ask, is this move truly necessary? Will it improve daily life, or will it create more challenges? If living alone has become unsafe, then finding a better housing arrangement might be a wise decision. But if the move is simply about downsizing or convenience for others, then it's worth considering whether staying in a familiar place with small modifications for safety might be the better option. The goal should always be to maintain both independence and emotional well-being. Habit number 9, falling for unnecessary health products. The health industry is full of products promising to reverse aging, boost energy, or cure every ailment. Many of these products target older adults, convincing them that they need expensive supplements, miracle cures, or home medical devices that may not even work. The reality is that many of these products are just marketing tricks designed to take advantage of people's fears about aging. The best way to stay healthy isn't by spending money on unproven treatments. It's by sticking to the basics. Eating a balanced diet, staying active, getting enough rest, and following doctor-recommended treatments will do far more for long-term health than any pill or supplement claiming to be a cure-all. Before spending money on a new health product, it's always best to do research, consult a doctor, and ask whether it's truly necessary. Good health isn't bought in a bottle. It's built through smart choices. Habit number 10, arguing with your partner over small things. In the later years of life, relationships become even more important. A spouse or longtime partner is often the person who understands you best, the one who's been there through all of life's ups and downs. But as time passes, small disagreements can start to feel bigger than they really are. Stress, frustration, and the challenges of aging can lead to more frequent arguments, which only create unnecessary tension. At this stage in life, every moment together is precious. Holding on to small disagreements only takes away from the peace and joy that should define this time. Learning to let go of minor frustrations, practicing patience, and focusing on the good in each other can make a tremendous difference in emotional well-being. After all, life is too short to waste it on arguments that won't matter in the long run. We've now covered 10 of the 20 habits that can quietly steal years from your life. Some of these may have surprised you, and some may have made you rethink the way you approach daily life. But the journey isn't over yet. There are still 10 more powerful habits to discuss, including some that many people never even consider. Before we continue, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these habits do you think is the most difficult to change? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 3, where we'll uncover the next 5 habits that could be affecting your future health and independence. Let's take control of aging one small change at a time. Aging well isn't just about avoiding illness. It's about protecting your independence, staying sharp, and making choices that allow you to enjoy life to the fullest. So far, we've covered 10 habits that can quietly steal years from your life if left unchecked. But we're not done yet. There are still 10 more powerful habits that can make the difference between thriving in your later years or struggling with preventable challenges. Before we continue, let me know in the comments, which habit from part 2 do you think is the hardest to change? Your insights help create a conversation that benefits everyone. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the rest of this series. Now, let's continue. Habit number 11, relying too much on family for support. Many people assume that as they get older, their children or younger relatives will take care of them. While family is important, depending too much on others can create stress, both for the individual and for their loved ones. Children and relatives often have their own responsibilities, jobs, families, and financial commitments, which means they may not always be available to provide full-time support. Instead of relying entirely on family, it's essential to find ways to maintain self-sufficiency. That might mean hiring occasional help for household tasks, joining local senior groups for socialization, or exploring community services designed for older adults. The more independence a person maintains, the less they have to worry about being a burden on loved ones. And when help is truly needed, it's always better to ask for it out of choice rather than necessity. Habit number 12, rushing into a new relationship due to loneliness. Loneliness is a common challenge in later years, especially after the loss of a spouse or long-term partner. The desire for companionship is natural, but making impulsive decisions, like rushing into a new relationship, can lead to emotional and financial risks. In some cases, older adults enter relationships with people who may not have their best interests at heart, leading to financial manipulation or emotional strain. Before committing to a new partner, it's important to take time to reflect on what is truly needed. Is it romantic companionship, or is it simply a desire for more social interaction? Strengthening friendships, joining activity groups, or finding purpose in hobbies can provide emotional fulfillment without the complications that sometimes come with rushed relationships. Habit number 13, moving into a nursing home too soon. For some older adults, moving into a care facility becomes a necessity due to health issues. However, many people make this transition earlier than they actually need to. Living in one's own home, whether alone or with some assistance, often provides more comfort, freedom, and emotional well-being than moving into a nursing home prematurely. Before making such a big decision, it's worth considering all the options. In-home caregivers, family support, or even assisted living communities that still offer independence can be great alternatives. If staying in a familiar environment is still safe and manageable, it may be worth delaying the move to a full-time care facility. The goal should always be to maintain as much independence as possible for as long as possible. Habit number 14, holding on to old friendships that no longer serve you. Over the years, friendships change. Some relationships remain strong, while others may become draining, negative, or even toxic. Holding on to friendships out of habit, rather than true connection, can create unnecessary stress. If a friendship has become one-sided, filled with negativity, or no longer brings joy, it may be time to step back. Instead of holding on to old relationships that no longer feel fulfilling, it's important to invest in connections that bring happiness and support. Meeting new people, joining groups with shared interests, or simply spending more time with family members who bring joy can make a world of difference. The company we keep has a direct impact on our well-being, and it's never too late to surround ourselves with positivity and mutual respect. Habit number 15, neglecting the importance of proper lighting. As eyesight weakens with age, poor lighting becomes a serious hazard. Many older adults continue navigating their homes in dim light without realizing that shadows, dark hallways, and poorly lit staircases significantly increase the risk of falls. A simple stumble over an unseen object can lead to fractures, hospitalizations, and long recovery times. Bright, even lighting throughout the home is one of the easiest ways to prevent accidents. Installing motion sensor lights in hallways, ensuring bedside lamps are within reach, and keeping outdoor areas well lit can greatly improve safety. Good lighting isn't just about convenience. It's about preserving independence by preventing unnecessary injuries. We've now covered 15 of the 20 habits that can quietly affect health and independence. Some of these may have been small changes, but their impact can be life-changing. But we're not done yet. In Part 4, we'll uncover the final 5 habits that many people don't even realize are affecting their well-being. Before we move forward, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which habit from this part do you think is the most surprising? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the last part of this series. Let's continue taking small steps toward a healthier, happier, and more independent future, one habit at a time. Aging with strength and independence isn't just about genetics. It's about the choices we make every day. Over the past 3 parts, we've covered 15 habits that can quietly steal years from your life if ignored. Now, we're down to the final 5. Some of these may seem small, but their impact can be life-changing. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Which habit from part 3 surprised you most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos that can help you live a longer, healthier life. Now, let's dive into the last 5 habits that should be avoided to protect your health, happiness, and independence. Habit number 16, comparing yourself to others. As we age, it's easy to look around and feel like others are doing better. Some people seem healthier, wealthier, or more active, but the truth is, everyone's journey is different. Constantly comparing yourself to others can create unnecessary stress, frustration, and even sadness. What matters most is your own well-being, progress, and happiness. Instead of focusing on what others have, it's more helpful to focus on what you can control. Practicing gratitude, celebrating personal achievements, and embracing the unique experiences that life has given you can shift your mindset from comparison to appreciation. Every person's path is unique, and the only comparison that truly matters is who you were yesterday versus who you are today. Habit number 17, overeating and ignoring portion control. Eating well is essential at every stage of life, but as we age, overeating can become a bigger problem than we realize. The body's metabolism slows down, digestion changes, and consuming large portions can lead to weight gain, heart disease, and digestive issues. Many older adults continue eating the same portion size as they did in their younger years, not realizing that their body's needs have changed. Being mindful of portion sizes can help maintain energy levels, prevent unnecessary weight gain, and support overall health. Eating smaller, more balanced meals throughout the day, rather than large, heavy meals, can help digestion and reduce bloating or discomfort. And beyond food choices, staying hydrated is just as important. Drinking enough water throughout the day keeps the body functioning properly and prevents dehydration, which can cause fatigue, confusion, and dizziness. Habit number 18, consuming too much salt and unhealthy fats. Many people don't realize how much salt and unhealthy fats are hidden in their daily meals. Processed foods, restaurant meals, and even homemade dishes can contain excessive amount of sodium and unhealthy oils. While these might not seem harmful in the moment, over time, they increase the risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, and strokes. Reducing salt intake by choosing fresh, unprocessed foods and using herbs and spices for flavor can make a big difference. Opting for healthy fats, like those found in nuts, avocados, and olive oil, helps protect the heart and supports brain function. It's not about cutting out all indulgences. It's about making small, smart choices that add up over time. Habit number 19, letting negative emotions take over. Negative emotions like anger, stress, or resentment don't just affect mood. They can damage physical health as well. Studies have shown that chronic stress and negativity can weaken the immune system, raise blood pressure, and increase the risk of heart disease. Holding on to past regrets, dwelling on problems, or letting frustration build up can slowly take a toll on both the body and mind. Practicing positive thinking, stress management, and relaxation techniques can make a huge difference. Simple habits like meditation, deep breathing, or even taking a walk outside can help release tension and bring a sense of calm. Surrounding yourself with positive people, engaging in enjoyable activities, and focusing on the present can help shift the mindset from stress to peace. Emotional well-being is just as important as physical health, and taking care of both is the key to a long and fulfilling life. Habit number 20, avoiding exercise because of fear of injury. Many older adults avoid exercise because they're afraid of getting hurt. While this concern is understandable, Not exercising is actually more dangerous. A lack of physical activity leads to weakened muscles, stiff joints, and a greater risk of falls and injuries. Staying active is one of the best ways to maintain mobility, strength, and independence. The key is choosing safe, low-impact exercises that support the body rather than strain it. Activities like walking, yoga, swimming, or Tai Chi help improve balance, flexibility, and overall health without putting unnecessary pressure on the joints. Consistency is what matters most. A little movement every day keeps the body strong and the mind sharp. It's not about doing intense workouts. It's about staying active in a way that feels good and supports long-term well-being. We've now covered all 20 habits that can quietly steal years from your life if left unchecked. Some of these changes may seem small, but when combined, they can completely transform the aging experience. The goal isn't just to live longer, it's to live better, stronger, and with more independence. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 20 habits do you think is the most important to change first? Let's start a conversation in the comments below. And if you found this series helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content designed to help you live a healthier and more fulfilling life. Let's take control of aging, one small habit at a time.